After the controversy around implementation of the national education policy, now the Tamil Nadu government and the centre are at loggerheads once again. This time, it's over the delimitation exercise. So it's very clear that all parties concerned are already setting the tone for the 2026 State Assembly elections in Tamil Nadu and expect these controversies to only escalate in the coming months. But at the heart of the latest furore is the claim made by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister MK Stalin that if the delimitation exercise is indeed conducted, he would lose 8 of his MPs and that this is a well thought out strategy by the centre to cut seats of the opposition ruled states, especially in the south, so as to decrease their political heft in the parliament and overall. While Home Minister Amit Shah has drawn the red line and making it amply clear that not a single parliamentary seat of southern states will be lost on pro rata basis, the politics over this just refuses to die down. After MK Stalin, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has also alleged that the Home Minister's statements cannot be trusted and are misleading. Do remember though that the delimitation is a constitutional mandate, but in Indian history it's not been entirely linear. Up until 1976, after every Indian census, seats of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and state legislative assemblies were redistributed throughout the country. But the 42nd Amendment to the Constitution, viewers, passed during emergency, froze the total number of seats till the 2001 census. You may ask why. The reasoning was that this gave room to states with higher population to implement family planning measures without losing representation in the parliament. Now, the present delimitation of parliamentary constituencies within states has been done on the basis of the 2001 census under the provisions of Delimitation Act 2002. However, 84th Amendment of Constitution in 2002 barred delimitation of constituencies till the first census conducted after the year 2026. According to the 84th Amendment, the next delimitation would ordinarily have happened after the 2031 census, but with the 2021 census delayed, it's not clear when it will happen. And even before counting for the census can begin, administrative boundaries must be frozen. The deadline for which was 2024 January. The government had said earlier that the work on census would begin soon after 2024 Lok Sabha elections. However, this hasn't started, with the entire census exercise taking up 2 years to complete. The delimitation exercise also seems like a task of distant future. Before counting for the census can begin, administrative boundaries must be frozen, and the deadline for which was once again January 2024. The government had said earlier that the work on census would begin soon after 2024 Lok Sabha elections. So all of this adding up to the current situation that we find ourselves in today as the delimitation issue is being debated heavily. Let's understand why the census in the first place has been delayed. Top government sources have informed CNN News 18 that the demand for caste census has further complicated the matter, thereby delaying census, and no call has been taken so far as to when census can be undertaken. Next up, sources have also informed your channel that the caste enumeration factors are being ironed out at both political and administrative levels, further adding another layer of complexity. Even if census is delayed beyond 2026, delimitation exercise may not happen in time for 2029 Lok Sabha elections. The government is now trying to forge census on one nation, one poll as well. So that could be another factor before delimitation actually sees the light of the day. These are some of the hurdles that we will see before delimitation becomes a reality in the country. But that said, how valid are the concerns raised by MK Stalin and some of his political friends? To better understand the same, we need to understand how many Lok Sabha seats each state and union territory would get if the allocation takes place according to the projected population figures as of 2026. We've accessed data put out by American think tank Carnegie Endowment for International Peace that highlights a change in overall Lok Sabha seat numbers and how it would have the strength increase to 846. Here's what the revised scenario would look like in this particular case. According to the projection, Uttar Pradesh, that currently has 80 seats, would witness an increase of 63 seats. That's the addition that the state of Uttar Pradesh, the northern state, very, very crucial to the national electoral picture, and it will have 143 seats in total. So addition of 63 takes the total to 143. The current seats in Bihar will also have to be increased from 40 to 79. According to the projection, the state will witness an uptick of 39 that you see on your screens. Now, Rajasthan, very interesting once again. 25 Lok Sabha seats currently. The carnage has projected the seats to increase twofold. This is the projected figure. It could go up to 50, an addition of 25, another 25 seats. While the states in North India are projected to be the top gainers, let's take a look at the southern states as well, which is where the contention from the likes of MK Stalin and Siddaramaiah come in. According to the projection, Karnataka currently has 28 seats, will witness an increase by 13, take up the total to 41. Moving on to Kerala, here interestingly, this particular report says that the number of seats will remain unchanged. So no changes really, perhaps limited to 1 or 2. That will have to be followed very closely. In Tamil Nadu, very interesting, carnage suggests an uptick of 10 seats, taking the total tally to 49. So compare this 10 to the increase that we're seeing in, for instance, in Uttar Pradesh. So yes, if an Uttar Pradesh gains, so will Tamil Nadu. What's being contested though is the margin of increase in northern states being much higher than states in southern India. And since the drawing board is still being scribbled, a lot of details yet to be finalized, if delimitation exercise has to happen, here are a few questions that arise in the interim. Number one, the most obvious question, what will be the basis of seat distribution? If no state loses on pro rata basis, as has been assured by the Home Minister, what will be the premises of this pro rata basis? If there is indeed a set timeline for delimitation's implementation is also being asked. If not, why is this a topic of sudden debate and scrutiny in states like Tamil Nadu that are also headed to elections in 2026? Another question being asked is, of course, why is it that we're not seeing a methodology being chalked out very clearly? Will 2011 census be extrapolated or new census be conducted? And following which, the question being asked, is delimitation even a near reality given how conducting census also poses several hurdles? Or is this debate being stirred for political reasons alone? And lastly, there are fears over delimitation. Is it justified or just a hyperbole? And if they are indeed timed with elections, these concerns are only being raked for political gains. Who really gains from them electorally? That's the question we asked this evening on Plain Speak. Before opening it up with our guests, here's what you need to watch.
தொகுதி மறுசீரமைப்பு பேர்ல தென்னிந்தியாவுடைய தலைக்கு மேல ஒரு கத்திய தொங்கிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு.
डिलिमिटेशन में आपका एक भी सीट प्रोरेटा कम न हो और जो बढ़ोतरी होगी इसमें उचित हिस्सा दक्षिण भारत के राज्यों को भी मिलेगा.
We cannot be a mobocracy. We are a democracy. We need to understand that, for effective functioning of this nation, equitable participation from every nook and corner of the country is a must.
Modi ji has made it very, very clear long time back, a year back. We will not follow the Congress model of doing Anyaya to southern India. And this is NDA's government. We will do Naya to all states.
Let's quickly open this up with our guest joining us this evening, Narayan Tirupati, Vice President of BJP Tamil Nadu. We also have P. Gandhi, spokesperson of the DMK, and Desh Ratan Nigam, law and political analyst this evening. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking out your time on this very important discussion that we're going to be taking forward the next few minutes. With all kind of expertise on board. First up, my question to Mr. Tirupati. Mr. Tirupati, despite the Home Minister setting facts straight, saying that there is no need to resort to this kind of quote-unquote rumour mongering. BJP says all of those lies being peddled by the opposition, including Chief Minister MK Stalin and now Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, stand factually punctured by the Home Minister. But several leaders, one after the other, chief ministers have come out to say, from the opposition of course, that the Home Minister's facts don't quite add up, quote unquote facts don't quite add up, and they're misleading in nature. How do you respond?
See, Jitni Abadi Utana Haq. These were the words told by Mr. Rahul Gandhi on October 5, 2023. That is, Jitni Abadi Utana Haq means, you know that, the right as per the, proportionate to the population. This is what Rahul Gandhi had said.
Yeah.
And same day, our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, had very clearly said that this is the Indie Alliance's view, policy of, delimitation. And Mr. Stalin, actually, he should have fought with Rahul Gandhi. He should have opposed Rahul Gandhi. Instead, he is trying to put the blame on BJP. Our Prime Minister made it very clear, if this is going to happen, then the South will lose more than 100 seats. This is what he said in October 2023. And Mr. Amit Shah had made it very, very clear how it will be done in pro rata. And see, time is there, very long time is there. A lot of discussions are to be held and committees are to be formed. So it is unnecessarily, they are creating, this kind of issues because there is a huge law and order breakdown in Tamil Nadu. Violence against women, violence against children are happening. That is the reason they want to, Mr. Stalin wants to, deviate or divert the issues. He took up a language issue just 3-4 days back. But that failed because people of Tamil Nadu did not accept what they said. And now it has come to delimitation. Mr. Amit Shah made it very, very clear. The Home Minister made it very clear. I don't think if at all they are going to continue this, then, either they are acting, that's all.
Okay, now, one thing is that the population growth in South goes without saying relatively slower than population growth in some of the northern states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. And that's where the concerns are coming in from, essentially, from all of these southern political parties, dominant political forces in the south, right? Mr. Deshratan Nigam, how are these fears then not valid? If we just go by the number game, as has been projected already, as per several surveys, there indeed is a concern that needs to be looked at, don't you think?
Well, there are certain genuine concerns, nobody can deny that. But the fact is, the Home Minister has made it very clear, there will not be a loss. So, yet the entire exercise has not started. Parliament is supreme, it can frame a law in this that maybe, as a suggestion I can give, that not more than 20% increase will take place.
Okay.
It can be fixed in terms of a percentage so that it is beneficial to everybody. And there will not be sudden jump for certain states who have larger population, and the states who have controlled their population will not suffer. I think some kind of a formula can be worked out so that the interest of each and every state can be taken care of. And Home Minister was very categorical and emphatic that on a pro rata basis they will ensure that nobody's seats go down. And also, as you already shown just before the debate started, that even Tamil Nadu is having an increase of, say, about 10 seats. But
what will entail this pro rata basis? That's the follow-up question being asked, Mr. Deshratan Nigam.
Yes.
How do you go about it? Is it purely going to be based on population census or existing constituencies of MPs and MLAs? That's the one thing Mr. Raja of the DMK asked.
No, the fact is the entire exercise has not yet started. The committees will be formed, they will sit down and they will talk to all the states who are the stakeholders, and then they will come to a consensus. As I said, a percentage basis can also be fixed at that no state has an undue advantage. So I think it's too premature to politicize this matter. When the committees are formed, everybody's views will be taken on record and something can be worked out. To write fear-mongering is not, justified at this stage, although I can understand their concerns that northern states may have sudden jumps, extreme jumps. I think that is not going to take place, otherwise it will skew the election and the mandate the Indian people will give.
Okay, so when you say, let's say for instance, a 20% jump can be capped, you're saying 20% for all states across the country, for Uttar Pradesh a 20% hike from the present number of seats, for Tamil Nadu the same logic.
Yes. I'm saying this is just a suggestion, so that there is no extreme jump from the existing number of seats.
Okay, Mr. Gandhi, where really are these concerns coming from? It's not as though the government has gone ahead already with some sort of a big announcement. They've already declared that we're only going to keep the population factor in mind. We're not going to, factor in everything that's been spoken of by several in the opposition, because remember, following our history, we do know several exceptions have been made for southern states, and due credit has been given to them for implementing population control measures. So why is it being taken for granted and no benefit of doubt is being given to the central government already? Who's jumped the gun here?
Now, even today, Mr. Amit Shah's statement is very clear. They are going on the basis of pro rata. What is pro rata means? Pro rata means, does it mean that it is based on the population? Then the answer is very clear and straightforward. So there is no apprehension at all. It is a straight line question where the BJP is trying to do gerrymandering. This is the practice which they are trying to do. They are trying to group the constituencies in such a way that they will electorally benefit. This is nothing but electoral distortion. Because the moment they say it is pro rata on the basis of population, because Article 82 very clearly says that it should be on the basis of census. Now, when we talk about census, it is nothing but penalizing the southern states for effectively implementing the family planning. And it is not an exception. Whereas the northern states failed to go with the union government's policy, and now they are going to benefit. And it amounts to electoral distortion. Not only electoral distortion, the BJP want to hang on to power permanently, and hence they are trying to thwart the democracy. Even in foreign countries, in many countries like US or Canada, we have got gerrymandering commissions.
But there's no clarity on what is going to be the basis or the premise of the delimitation exercise, right? We don't have the finalities as yet. So my question is, suddenly in the midst of an NEP controversy, we're not going to want to implement the 3-language formula ever in our state. We see the Chief Minister make this one-off remark. So that's the pointed question I am trying to open up to all of you all. Is it to do with 2026 Tamil Nadu elections? Is it electoral gains that is currently being eyed by the DMK, which is in power in the state still?
It is not with the view of 2026 elections, because this delimitation exercise will start only in 2026 as per the constitution. And today, that's what I am repeating again. Today, Mr. Amit Shah's statement is very clear. There is no doubt about it. He is saying on pro rata basis. Let him answer what is pro rata. That will solve the issue.
Okay.
When you talk about pro rata, it means it is on the basis of population. So our apprehension is right.
Okay, so let me take that to Mr. Sanjay Hegde, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court and Constitutional Expert. He can perhaps set the record straight for us after the Home Minister. So you can do the answering here. Tell us, what do we make of, the manner in which the controversy has laid out itself so far? The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, now pretty much speaking in the same voice as that of the other southern leaders, chief ministers, Karnataka Chief Minister also raking similar concerns. Yeah. But do you think those concerns have been met with the remarks that have come in from Home Minister Amit Shah so far? He says no state need not worry. Okay, Mr. Hegde, some trouble with your connection there. In the meanwhile, I'll go across to Mr. Deshratan Nigam as well. A legal perspective, sir. What do you make of this? A lot of conversation taking place around pro rata basis, the premise of delimitation, so on and so forth. But my question here also is, and as I did opine in the remarks that I began with, delimitation, do you really think is something that we can expect by 2026, as is being projected by several political parties? Yes, it's a timeline that has been set already, but given census, the several complexities that come with the demand for caste census, looks like there is or could be a delay. Your take, sir. Mr. Nigam, I think you're on mute.
2026, I don't think it is possible, because the census has to take place only after 2026. So therefore, that issue is not possible. When we say it is on the basis of population, pro rata basis, it does not talk about what riders can be added. Yes, population can be taken into account, and the committees may suggest various ways to take care of the concerns of the various states. So number of issues, the way 2001 census issue came because of it was frozen for 25 years. It came through the Act of Parliament. So it can also be done, through an Act of Parliament, various modifications can be brought in. So to have that kind of fear mongering or to create north-south divide, I think it's not called for. Let's wait for formation of committees. Let's wait when the representations are made by the state, the suggestions are made by the state. And then, one can think about it. Yes, population has to be the basis, because otherwise there cannot be any other basis. And once you have the population before you, you can, as I said, you can cap it not more than 20%. Even in your report, you just showed that Tamil Nadu is also getting 10 seats. And similarly, Karnataka is also gaining number of seats. Kerala is a constant. So Kerala's concern can also be taken into account as to how to ensure that Kerala's interest is also maintained.
Okay.
So let's wait. Let's not jump the gun. Let's wait. The suggestions will come forward. And I'm sure we have a very pluralistic way of, forming legislation, and that can be done. I don't see any concern. Any concerns which are there can be taken care of.
No, those concerns also stem from the 2024 Lok Sabha results, and I will speak about those figures in just a bit and take it to Mr. Tirupati, who wants to come in, but Mr. Hegde has not been able to open up as yet. Yes, Mr. Sanjay Hegde.
See, this is an issue which has long been pending. It's in the very nature of the Constitution. The Constitution said one man, one vote, one value. So therefore, that requirement ultimately makes for constituencies which would have an equal number of voters in all of them. We began with a certain set of figures, and they've been frozen as of 1971. What has happened is population growth has been uneven. Now, this requires statesmanship of a very high order. And Deshratan Nigam was referring to what happened in 2021 when the then government of Mr. Vajpayee said, let us defer the issue for 25 years.
Yeah.
The hope was that by then growth patterns would sort of average out and the issue may or may not remain. What, however, has happened is that the southern states have shown declining growth or marginal growth. The northern states' population has continued to grow.
No, but in 2001 as well, Mr. Hegde.
Just one minute. Let me just put the problem so that your viewers understand. There is also this great feeling of fiscal imbalance in the country because the southern states believe that they contribute much more to the country and they do not get enough in return as far as tax revenues go. If the southern states feel that after delimitation they are going to be powerless relative to a much greater expansion of the number of seats in the northern states, what is the country as a whole to do? We do not really want a polity where one or two states alone by themselves can determine the future of all our multifarious states all over the country, whether south, west, northeast, etc. The solution to my mind is something linked to other policies at the center. It may be time to resize the states into smaller units.
Okay.
If all states are resized so that each of them have 20 or 25 MPs, then no one state can dominate the other.
But do you think historically this has gone the right way, Mr. Hegde? Let me cite the 2011 census figures for you. Population in Tamil Nadu stood at 15.6%, Bihar 25.4%, Uttar Pradesh 20.2%. So not a lot of difference if we compare it to, let's say, figures 2022, 23, 24.
No, you start with the base. No, you
But
please start with the base.
But sir, Tamil Nadu continues to hold 39 Lok Sabha seats. Bihar, twice the population back then, 2011, still 40 seats. So do you think we started off on a wrong footing somewhere?
No, it's a constitutional requirement and we started off with 71 figures. Now, Tamil Nadu may have a population of about some 6 crore people. Bihar has more than that. So 15% of 6 crore is how much? It would be less than a crore.
Yeah.
Whereas 20% of, say, 10 crores would be 2 crores. So that is why, please don't look at it in percentage terms. Look at it in terms of given the current population figures, now how much would each state get if the state boundaries are current? Now, the only way, to my mind, to solve it is to make many more states have each state have only about 20 or 25
Okay,
MPs.
that's a drastic suggestion. Let's see whether or not that's something that's being thought out, or at least something on those lines. Mr. Tirupati and then Mr. Gandhi, because running out of time. Mr. Tirupati, yes, you wanted to.
It is very clear from yesterday, Mr. Amit Shah's speech, and also my understanding is that whenever delimitation happens, each and every state in the country will definitely get the same percentage of seats as we have now. I think I have put it in a very simple nutshell. So there will not be any issue, there will not be any problem, because definitely it is my proud. I'm proud that.
So you're saying the population of UP may have grown manifold, but the increase of seats is going to be proportional to that of Tamil Nadu.
Because South, particularly Tamil Nadu, definitely we have followed what the country had said: family planning, population control. We have done it. So justice should be done, and it will be done. That's what a Prime Minister and also Home Minister has said.
Okay. Mr. Gandhi, to you next. The figures that I was talking about, was wanting to take this up with Mr. Tirupati as well. But let's go by the opposition figures. INDI, the Congress party, for instance, of the 99 seats won in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, more than 50 seats came from some of these southern states. So electorally as well, all political parties are concerned about what the future holds. Given how this exercise is carried out, it's very clear. Let's not deny it.
No, we are very clear. Any delimitation on the basis of census will result in higher seats for the northern states. And I have a slight disagreement with Mr. Sanjay Hegde that there is a solution. He proposed a solution that the states can be split up. This is what we are worried about. The states, it ultimately results in fracturing the states. States are reorganized on the basis of language. That is the linguistic reorganization. And if we start fracturing the states, that is against democracy, and that is nothing but what we call it as gerrymandering. Fracturing the states and creating the constituencies to suit the ruling dispensation. That is what BJP is trying to do.
Okay, constituencies can be redrawn, but I mean, changing the boundaries of the states is a concern. Mr. Hegde, that's to you. Do you want to respond?
No.
Yes, so my
no, I think it was a suggestion from Mr. Sanjay Hegde, and Mr. Gandhi is quite discontent with it. Yes.
So
there cannot be breaking change. That is what that is what BJP is trying to do.
What's your suggestion then, Mr. Gandhi? What's your suggestion? How should the central government go about this?
Our suggestion is currently maintain status quo. We maintain status quo for the last 25 years. Currently maintain status quo because otherwise it is nothing but a kind of colonization by Uttar Pradesh and Bihar.
Wouldn't that be unfair to Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, sir?
Yes,
given the population disparity.
Because more and more taxes are being collected from us, whereas we are getting less taxes. Our taxes are being spent in Uttar Pradesh and
Gandhi,
Bihar.
it's not as though there is no labor inflow from northern states to southern states. So, I mean, if we start getting into that debate, then this is going to be unending.
No, this is what Britishers did. They collected taxes, but rulers are from Britain.
Okay, I'm running out of time, Mr. Hegde. So, 15 seconds to you, sir. Quickly, I need to wrap up. Yes.
So, if Tamil Nadu goes from 40 seats to 45 seats, and UP goes from 80 seats to 125, there will definitely be an imbalance. But if Tamil Nadu goes to 45 seats and you have 3 of UP, Harit Pradesh, this Pradesh, that Pradesh, then no one state can dominate. That is what I meant to say.
But practically speaking, whether or not that idea can see the light of the day is a debate for another day, perhaps. But gentlemen, I'm going to have to leave it at that, Mr. Gandhi.